Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing another reading vlog. I'm going to be reading, as you guys requested, Haven. Now, I did like a little TikTok of me asking you guys what books should I read, American Psycho, Sharp Objects, or Haven. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But a lot of you guys, or most of you guys, said Haven, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to be doing another reading vlog, so I'm very excited. The only thing I know about this book is that someone gets bullied, or it's about like being bullied. That's all I know. And it's 167 pages, I believe, so I think it's going to take me about 3.5 hours to finish. But yeah, I'm excited. So don't forget to subscribe and comment down below what other videos I should post. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so far I'm on page 6, and he basically gets bullied and he gets sent a note from Kojima to meet him at a park, and they just met each other now. By the way, this is the bookmark I'm using. I think it matches with the aesthetic. Yeah, so that's all that happened so far. Okay, so I just finished chapter 1. There are 9 chapters in this book. And so far we just got to know, more of Kojima's character and also our main character and their dynamic. They started writing letters to each other, and we find out about that heaven is a place. So yeah, it's a place and they really want to go to it. Now, I don't know if they're talking about actual heaven or if it's like a place. So yeah. But yeah, they're getting bullied left and right. This is depressing. Yeah. So that's all that happened in chapter 1. Now I'm going to get on to chapter 2. I've been reading for 30 minutes so far. So I just finished chapter 2, and they went to this museum and they were looking at this painting that was like called Heaven. So I think that's why the book is called Heaven. But yeah, that's all that happened so far. Okay, so I just started chapter 3 and I'm a few pages in, and so far this is probably the best chapter so far. So basically I was watching TV and he found out that a middle school student was killed because he was bullied. I've been reading for 1 hour right now. I'm still reading chapter 3, page 51. I said that chapter 3 so far is my favorite. If y'all have this book, go to page 51, line 5. Anyways. Okay, so I'm on chapter 5, so I just finished 4 chapters, and I have less than 100 pages left. Yeah, there's honestly the same things happening, more bullying, more writing letters, and our 2 main characters getting closer together. But yeah, other than that, nothing's happening, like plot-wise, but there's a lot of, bullying going on and stuff like that. So I like this book so far. Okay, so I just finished chapter 5, so I'm going to go into chapter 6, and I'm 100 pages in, so I have like 67 pages left. I actually do. But yeah, so in chapter 5, our main character's aunt died, so the sister's mom, and they went to a funeral, just him and his mom, and we get to see the relationship between him and his mom, and as well as just his first experience seeing a dead body. And he also decides that he wants to like stop going to middle school and he wants to drop out. But yeah, so he doesn't even have a relationship with his dad like at all, because yeah, they haven't even talked once. But yeah, so that's what happened in chapter 5. I'm just summarizing it as best as I can, as well as no like spoilers. But yeah, I'm loving this book so far. It's deeply philosophical, which I love. And this book is talking about, so far this book is talking about suffering and if it has any meaning at all, or do we as humans create a meaning just to survive it. So I'm still reading chapter 6, but I wanted to talk about the book a little bit. So autumn, has come, and he So I'm still reading chapter 6, but we're in autumn now, and the letters, they stopped writing, the letters as much as they used to. But yeah, he's basically thinking of, unaliving himself, either by slitting his wrist or taking medication. So he's contemplating on a way of, ending his life. So yeah, I'm on page 105, and that's what's happening. Yeah, he's getting very suicidal. Obviously he's still getting bullied, like someone punched his nose, and his mom's telling him to go to a doctor, or like his nose is gonna fall off, or even something worse is gonna happen than that. But yeah, so this book is reminding me a lot of No Longer Human. So yeah, that's what I'm getting so far. But yeah, I'm liking it. We haven't seen Kojima in a very long time, but yeah. So I just finished chapter 6, and basically he goes to the doctor, and then later on he still gets letters from Kojima after I said, we stopped seeing her, and he's reflecting on the summer they had together when they went to the museum and things like that. And he decides to confront his bullies, and he tells them that he hasn't slept like for a while because they're hurting him and stuff like that. But they basically just said like nobody cares, and all of that. But I feel like the doctors are like making fun of him. Like, I don't know, I don't know if that's like how he sees it, like from his perspective, or are the doctors really like making fun of him. But anyways, that's just what I think. I'm still reading chapter 7, and he got his nose fixed, and he's showing it to our girlie over here. But yeah, that's all my updates. He wants to fix his eye, but what's her name again? I forgot her name. Kojima is telling him no, because if you do, then you're going to be following Ninomiya and the others, which are the bullies. Okay, whatever, but yeah. I'm on page 133, so I have 34 pages left. Okay, I finished chapter 7. I'm on chapter 8, but she basically told him, like, if you go fix your nose, I'm not gonna be your friend anymore. I mean, your eye, I'm not gonna be your friend anymore. So he's basically contemplating, like, should he fix his eye and maybe, you know, stop getting bullied, or, you know, stop being friends with Kojima. So, yeah. That's a little weird, but I'm gonna start chapter 8, and there's 2 more chapters left to go. I read like the first 2 pages of chapter 8 because I want to talk about something. Basically, her mom cut herself. Obviously, he comes into the scene of, you know, her arm bleeding and stuff, and he asks her like what happened. She said, oh, I was just cutting like vegetables or whatever, and, you know, I cut my hand. And he said, like, should we call the doctor? She said, yes, I called them. And she started laughing, and he told her, like, aren't you scared? She said, no, I'm not. So yeah, I think the mom is a little cray-cray, and she has suicidal thoughts just like her son. So yeah, this book is reminding me a lot of the book No Longer Human, but it reminds me a lot of the movie Kevin. I forgot the full name, but I did a movie review on that movie. So yeah, it reminds me a lot of this, but just like partially, you know, like the dynamic between the mom and the son. Still reading chapter 8, and he met up at the whale park with Kojima, and the bullies came as well, and they started hitting, you know, our main guy, and they started taking off his pants, you know. Yeah, they want him to, you know, pleasure himself in front of them, in front of everyone. And he basically tells Kojima to run away, you know, because he's afraid they're going to do something to her. So yeah, still on chapter 8, page 153. So basically, Kojima, you know, went crazy. Anyways, so then a woman came up to them and she was like, what you were doing, because, you know, she was naked and all that. But yeah, he didn't go to middle school for a while now because of what happened in the whale park. I'm on chapter 9, last chapter, page 160. So yeah, this book is very depressing, very, you know, sad. Bullying is just not fun. Like, stop bullying people, you guys. It's not good. Don't do it. Honestly, my face in that last chapter was like, what is happening? Yeah. That was my face. So he finally tells his mom that he was getting bullied for like the past year, and how he wanted to get his eye fixed, and he was contemplating, but then he ended up getting his eye fixed. And this is the last like paragraph in the book, and I just want to read it because it's so beautiful. So yeah, he's just standing like next under a tree, and he wants to take off his bandage off his eye because he finally healed, I guess. So everything was beautiful. At the end of the street, a street I had walked down more times than I could count. I saw the other side for the first time, glowing white. I understood it through my tears. I saw the world come into focus. The world had depth now. It had another side. I opened my eyes as wide as I could, fighting to see it all. Everything that I could see was beautiful. I cried and cried, standing there, surrounded by that beauty. Even though I wasn't standing anywhere, I could hear the sounds of my own tears. Everything was beautiful. Not that there was anyone to share with, anyone to tell, just the beauty. Yeah, that was beautiful. This book is good. It's heartbreaking. Yeah, and I think the whole message of this book is like, does suffering have meaning, or that suffering has no meaning, and that us humans try to find like a meaning so we won't feel bad, you know? That's the message that I got from this book. But yeah, that is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I give this book, I don't know, I definitely still need to think about this. I want to give it like a 3.5. At least that was my, you know, ranking throughout the whole book. But then towards the end, that last, you know, chapter, I'm thinking if I should give it like a 4 stars. I think I'll give it a 4. Yeah, I really like this book. not what I expected. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Comment down below if you have read this book, what do you rate it, and what are your opinions and thoughts, and what do you think this book is trying to, you know, tell us as the reader. And yeah, make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my shorts. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. It's linked in my YouTube bio. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.